Hey guys, it's JP, and today I'm bringing you a wonderful video. I finally hit 1600. So, as you can see, we're 1601 under the account I've been playing on. And today I actually just went 3-0. I straight picked up 3 wins. So, this is really big for me. I think I started the 15 to 1600 climb probably about 6, maybe even 7 weeks ago, and I've been pretty much working at it every single day, and I hit it, so I'm very proud of that. And I want to thank everybody that's been watching these videos. I hope you've all been learning a little bit from these videos, and I'm definitely not stopping here. I'm going to keep climbing. Very soon I'm going to introduce the 1700 series. So after I do a little bit of, just a little bit of setup for that, I am going to start the next 100-point climb. But I definitely wanted to take a moment to pause and breathe a little bit. I've just been trying so hard to get this, and now that I finally have it, it's a great feeling. It's really, really awesome. And so I will go over the final game that put me over the 1600 rank. It was against somebody in their provisionals, but it was instructive for me because so I played this game super, super safe. I wanted to make absolutely sure I didn't blunder anything. And I knew that there were opportunities that I could take to punish this guy's mistakes, because he definitely played a little unorthodox. But instead, I just played super solid. And I'll show you what I mean. So I started standard London, and this is just crazy. Like, he brings his G-pawn out to attack my dark square bishop, and this is just a violation of basic opening principles. What he's doing is, rather than taking time to develop his pieces and be solid, he's just trying to attack, and he weakens. Moving this G-pawn is just insane. There's no real purpose to it other than to attack my bishop, and I could just sidestep. So then he brings this pawn forward, and there is absolutely no way he could kingside castle now, because he has moved both of these pawns. He's advanced both of these pawns, but I see what he's doing. He wants to move this pawn forward again and try to trap my bishop. But I could just move my h-pawn up, and now I have this little hiding spot for my bishop. And he pushes forward anyway. So these pawns are crazy weak. I'm already winning at this point. Develops his knight, which, notice, his knight is only defended by his queen. Normally there's a pawn here, and, well, I mean, people move this pawn, but so this knight is loose, and he moves the same minor piece twice, and this is a great. It's good I'm going over this video, because I'll just everything that black is doing, you should not do in your game. He moved this pawn twice. He moved this knight twice. All of his other pieces are still on the back rank. And I just developed my bishop. I have 3 pieces out now. He just has 1 and weak pawns. So now maybe he was trying to fianchetto. Like, it makes no sense to move this pawn. Like, why are you doing this? Because even if he was to fianchetto, this pawn is blocking. So his bishop is going to guard this square, the c6 square. Makes no sense. He's guarding a square in his own camp. I figured, okay, I'm looking to queenside castle. I want some sort of action over here. Realistically, I suppose I could have kingside castle too. That might have even been better. I'm going to look at what the engine thinks. So it actually just wanted me to take this. And it said, wow, it really wanted me to take this, because after takes, I'm up a pawn, and my development is awesome. My bishops are awesome. Okay, so it would have been better for me to take this. What I was scared of was by taking this and this pawn capturing, I'm sort of opening up the position a little bit, or at least in my head, that's what I thought. I was opening up the position a little bit. My king's not castled yet. I just didn't want to do that. But it says I totally could have. So I would have been +3, but now I'm only +1. So I'm still ahead. I'm just not as winning. And then he moves this piece a third time, and I just take. I also developed my queen here because I thought in the event that he is a psychopath and he moves this knight a third time, I wanted to capture with my queen and not my king. Granted, my queen doesn't have to be here to do that, but by putting my queen here, it gives me the chance to castle. Anyway, that's what I was thinking. Moves this bishop out, which is good for me. And instead of castling, it says that developing my knight would have been better. But they're about the same. Takes. Now he's just moving more pawns. He's just not developing his pieces. Look, like, what is this pawn structure? This is insane. So I take. And finally, I develop my knight. The engine's very happy about that. That was the best move, it says. And here, I had another opportunity to punish. He moved his f-pawn. I made a whole video about not moving your f-pawn before your king is castled. And so I could have come... It says the best continuation would have been here, and then after he's checked, he just loses castling rights, and I could do stuff. But I wanted to play super safe, so I played this prophylactic move, this king b1. King b1 is advisable when you queenside castle because it prevents checks along these dark square diagonals. So I'm just playing safe, and now he swings his queen out. This, I think now I was playing too safe because he's like developing some sort of attack over here, but his king is not castled. I should have won. I would have been +5 if I did this now because his queen isn't over here to defend. But I was like, okay, now that I've played king b1, I could rotate this rook over, open up the center with my rooks in the center. But I, and this, to my surprise, the engine considers a mistake because by playing this rook over with my intent to break open the center, black actually gets the chance to close down the center, which is not something I considered. The best move here is e5. That's a recurring theme with these pawn breaks, especially in the center. If you break at the wrong time, it sometimes gives your opponent the chance to either break somewhere else, make a advantageous pawn break somewhere else, or close down your pawn break, so I no longer have that opportunity. And that's actually what black did. So whether he realized it or not, this was a very good move. And it actually says black is a little bit better here, which is, that's crazy to me, absolutely crazy. Like, what is this? What's going on? His king is so unsafe. He can never castle the entire game. So moving around, and he developed an attack that looked a little bit scary, like black's -1 here. So I found the best defending move. 'Cause look at this. He's got he's threatening to break through because with the knight right here and the queen attacking this a-pawn, he could take this with check. And then what do I do? Like, I start moving my king around, start blocking checks. So like, he's in my camp. I gotta do something. But I found the best defending move. And here, I was like, okay, I'm gonna kill this guy's attack completely. I'm gonna trade off his best piece. I'm gonna trade off his queen because I don't want to get checkmated, and if I trade the queens off, my position's still going to be better because I'm castled and he's not, and all of his pawns are weak, especially this one and especially this one. They're backward. They're not protected by anything else. Well, I guess this is protected by the bishop, but if I trade the queens off and he has no attack, I can just slowly continue to improve until I beat him. So he took the queen. And then it wanted me to move my rook here for whatever reason. I don't even understand that move. That's like a weird computer engine move that nobody would consider in real life. So I'm like, all right, open up the whole ass center. And now the engine does like me again. I'm at +1. Now that by trading off the queens, I've stopped his attack completely, and I could slowly break open the center with these pawn, the F pawn and the E pawn, and I have my rooks in the center. My bishop is a monster. I have this diagonal. I'm doing well. And then so black just hangs a pawn here by advancing his knight, and he hangs another pawn. So this is sort of a counterattacking idea. He wanted to attack my bishop, my knight, which really is not that great of a trade, even if he makes it. It's not a good trade at all, because his bishop is more powerful than my knight. This is an open position, so bishops are better. So by trading his better piece for my worse piece, that just benefits me. I dared him to take my piece, and actually by taking this pawn, not only am I up 2 pawns right now, but I'm also threatening to win his rook with my bishop. Granted, my bishop is powerful, but rooks are even more powerful, so I would win in exchange. So he didn't take. He moved out of the way. And so I'm like, okay, well, I guess I might as well hold on to my knight and move it to a better position. And he's just moving pieces around. Like, that move makes no sense. Well, okay. So what I'm threatening is this fork. And so his idea was to move the rook out of the way, but he just didn't move it to a good square. What it wanted was to reroute his bishop to defend this square rather than move the rook again, because he's already moving it around, not accomplishing anything. Now, see, like, we still have all this stuff on, and we didn't trade that much, but my position is +7, so I'm crushing. Well, I have two extra pawns, which I suppose is a lot, but usually 2 pawns is not +7. It's a lot. This was not the best move. I just figured, move my knight again, but pushing the pawn was better. And then we get to a point, I say, okay, well, if I continue to advance my pawn, it's going to be with check. It's protected by the rook. If he tries to take my pawn with his rook, and I capture and he recaptures, I'm up in exchange. So this is an okay move. It wasn't the best move, but it's saying this is an okay move. He didn't do that, and this is pretty much the move that sealed the game. Surprisingly, it was not the best engine move. It's saying this weird rook thing was better, but this is just a very simple human move. By playing knight to g6, I fork the rook and the king. No matter what he does, I win in exchange. I'm already up 2 pawns, so my plan is simple. I just want to trade everything. I could trade everything off and just use my pawn advantage, like march my king down the board, use my pawn advantage, and make a queen and beat him. But that process is further expedited if I'm also up in exchange. So now I'm up in exchange, and he takes, and I'm +11. And so finally, I played the best move again. He's got nothing to stop this pawn. I put a rook behind it. There's nothing in front of it. And then he just blunders here. He wants to try to stop it, but my bishop is protecting this. So now I'm up a rook, an exchange, and 2 pawns. And it says I have force mate in 10. So we'll just go through the rest of this real quick because it's so busted. But I pretty much took. I just took my time, and I made a queen. So one last thing to watch out for in this position. Notice this pawn can't move. This pawn can't move, and he pushed this pawn forward with the intent of having me capture it. His king has very limited moves. These aren't even moves. He could literally just move his king back and forth. So he's actually very close to being in stalemate. If I was not careful, it's possible that I could make a mistake and make it so that he's not in check, but he has no legal moves, and it would be a draw, and I would put a bullet in my head because this was the game to get me to 1600, and I was already so winning. So that's just the last thing you sort of need to watch out for, is that you don't stalemate your opponent. But thanks again so much, guys, for watching. I'm going to clean this up, and like I said, you could definitely expect the 1700 climbing series soon. And it's going to be great. It's going to be fucking sick. I'll see you guys there. Take it easy.